Hi everyone, I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. For the children that are counting the minutes and the hours, it's 2 days and 11 hours as I'm making this video until Christmas. I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. It is December 22nd, 2023, and it's Friday. Time for your news roundup. This is from Monday until today, Friday. And if you wish to watch my news roundup for free on Patreon, all the videos that I post are going to be free until the New Year's. People have said the quality of the video, the images, are actually better on Patreon and on Rumble. I also post them on Rumble. So join me over there. And again, very Merry Christmas. There's a lot of talk about Trump being removed from the Colorado ballot. I don't think it'll stand, but did you know that the Democrats also did it to another previous president? That was Abraham Lincoln. Yep, there's only been 2 GOP candidates that have ever been removed, taken off the ballot, and that was by the Democrats. Representative Tim Burchett broke on Fox TV about the honeypot and how many congressmen have been trapped in the honeypot, and the blackmail comes up when there's certain bills that they need to vote on. Yep, it's still an ongoing issue. Another recall. This one is for Blue Ridge beef. It's a voluntary recall for Blue Ridge beef kitten grind, but it's also for Blue Ridge beef puppy mix due to Salmonella and Listeria contamination. So you might want to check out. Yeah, don't want our pets dying on us. U.S. citizens cannot go to another country and buy homes or land. So why is it foreign people or foreign governments can do it here in the United States? 3.4 million U.S. acres bought by foreigners in 2022. A report from the United States Department of Agriculture stated foreign persons held an interest in over 43.4 million acres of U.S. agriculture as of last December 2022. This is a 3.4% of all privately held agricultural land and nearly 2% of all land in the United States. Pro-Hamas vandals poured red paint and graffiti on the steps leading up to the Lincoln Memorial in yet another desecration of one of the world's most iconic American symbols. This month alone, there's been desecration disruptions at the Capitol, Grand Central Station, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting, the New York Public Library, and the Manhattan Bridge, just to name a few. Yeah, they painted on the steps there, Free Gaza. As many of you know, we have greatly depleted our military arsenal because we're sending it to Ukraine. Well, evidently, Japan relaxes export restrictions to sell Patriot missiles to the U.S. It should be the opposite. I remember when we sent Patriot missiles to South Korea, and now we're buying them back, or buying them from Japan. Yeah, build back America. I don't think that's happening. A Democratic attorney, a former Atlanta police officer, convicted of a $7 million COVID relief fraud case. Yep, she bought herself a Rolls Royce, a huge expensive diamond ring, amongst other things. Iran offered $200,000 to assassinate 2 British news anchors. They were evidently former Iranians who had defected to the UK, and they decided to try and hire an Iranian who was living there with a criminal record. That way, if the assassinations did play out, they could deny any contacts with them. Some news we don't hear about. Myanmar resistance is gaining ground and is asking for U.S. help. Ever since they took over in a military coup, I guess back in 1969. They've been killing people, civilians, things like that. What the military there is doing is taking the fuel for the airlines. They're grabbing what they need first for their military, and then what's left over giving it to the airlines. Domestic flights in Myanmar reduced as junta, as they call it, that's the coup, searches for jet fuel. The United States is issuing new sanctions on Russia related to oil sales. Evidently, we did lift, which I didn't hear about, the sale of Russian oil, but we put a price cap on what they could sell. The price cap works by prohibiting shippers, insurance, finance, and other services from handling cargoes of Russian crude unless it is sold at or below the $60 price cap. Yeah, the U.S. would probably be buying it at $60. Don't you wish we could get it at $60? The world's key shipping and insurance firms are based in G7 countries, giving them leverage to set the price cap and make it difficult for Moscow to sell its oil for a higher price. I don't think this is a coincidence, seeing how the U.S. is trying to get a coalition to attack Yemen. Saudi Arabia and the EU were one of the 20 countries that the U.S. had approached to join the attack on Iran. Yeah, that's not going very well. It says here, U.S. prepares to lift ban on sales of offensive weapons to Saudi Arabia. They're claiming that since Saudi Arabia now has entered into a truce with Yemen, that they will sell them the weapons. Yemen was attacking Saudi Arabia. They started that back in 2014, and then they entered a truce. Yemen has threatened to attack the different oil infrastructures there in Saudi Arabia and probably the United Arab Emirates, places that we get oil from. And there's at least 5 countries that have entered into an agreement with Iran to attack those oil-based countries, one of them being Syria, that would join the attack. So I don't think this is a coincidence that we're going to sell weapons now to Saudi Arabia. Time to stock up on those forever stamps. The United States Postal Government is going to increase the price of stamps from 66 cents to 68 cents. But if you buy the forever stamps, it's still set at the old price. You don't have to buy stamps at the new price. This UPS driver should get a raise. It says UPS driver goes the extra mile and uses a boat to make holiday deliveries. Actually, I think it was an Amazon delivery person when the roads got washed out there in Massachusetts, Boston. Yeah, the road was washed out, so he found a boat along the one side of the road, the shore, where it was washed out, put all the Amazon packages in there, and found his way across. Some states are taking this illegal immigrant entrance into the United States very seriously. To respond to migrants, Florida sought weapons training for Special State Unit Guard. I believe about 66 of them went through training to apprehend the illegal people entering our country. In Oklahoma, an 8-year-old Leighton child was shot in the head while looking at Christmas lights with his family. His mother was a Dash delivery person, and she took her 2 sons to look at the lights, and she saw some lights, stopped for the kids to watch them, backed up, and that's when the child was shot in the head. Very sad. She was a DoorDash driver, and this is the man that evidently randomly shot at the car. Japan had a magnitude 5.3 earthquake yesterday. No reports of damage. Alaska, along the Aleutian Islands, had a magnitude 6.3 earthquake. No reports of damage, no tsunami. 2 teachers made a video about not going along with the woke agenda and the communism agenda. Says they do hang the American flag in their classroom and not the gay pride. Yeah, it says they don't treat children differently according to color, and they don't use pronouns. Good for them. Since many of the board members there at Harvard and professors have gone pro-Palestinian, their finances have been strained. Evidently, a London billionaire joined the donor revolt, refusing to help them out, send donations. Prague, the Czech Republic, according to various news reports, it says here that 11 people were killed as a result at a university, Charles University. Actually, the number of people rose to 12, and I believe 22 were injured because of that crazy mass shooter. Supposedly, the list of people who visited Epstein's sex island is going to be released. 170 names are going to be put on it. Many of those will come out are known and notable people. They are going to release the list of names on Monday, supposedly. 3 of the names they're saying they're going to withhold. I wonder who that could be. People are wondering who's on the list. Well, we all know that Bill Clinton is probably on the list. Who else? Who would the 3 people be that they're not going to release? What kind of power do they have? Who are they afraid of that they're not going to tell us who went to his sex island? Yeah, they must have a lot of power. So supposedly someone got a backbone. This woman, judge, got a backbone, is going to release the names on Monday. We will see, and I doubt if there's going to be any prosecution. Israel said it did uncover a large Hamas command center and destroyed it. A nativity scene in Boston Commons was vandalized with graffiti. It says Jesus was Palestinian. I always just considered him Jewish. Yeah, and they want death to all Jews. Orange County, California. Yep, the new laws are coming into effect. Irvine will start banning gas-powered lawn equipment next year. The cost of an electric blower, which is still allowed, is generally somewhere between $1,500 to about $3,000, up to 3 times the cost of a gas-powered one. So they're banning lawnmowers and anything that has a small gas engine. So maybe they should just let the leaves blow down the street to City Hall and then get sheep to cut the lawn. My landlord uses a riding lawnmower. Those would also be banned. Another data breach by hackers, Comcast, Infinity, over 36 million customers. Yeah, they got everything. Names, address, social security numbers, you name it. 36 million customers. In the article, they have the list of the sensitive information that was exposed include contact information, last 4 digits of the social security number, dates of birth, secret questions and answers if you forget your password, usernames, and hashtag passwords. I don't care what they say about how the economy is improving. They're saying that inflation is coming down. It's still not even. It's still at least 3%, if not more. But it's affecting so much more. I heard about Christmas tree lots giving trees away because people just can't afford to buy them. And now the lot owners have to clear out the lots, so they're giving the trees away. You might check your neighborhood. Anyways, animal shelters are overcrowded with pets from families facing economic and housing woes. Yeah, when they get evicted because they're behind in their rent, it's hard finding another place to rent that will allow pets. This comes from Chicago. They found a toddler wandering alone, no shoes, no pants, maybe a diaper, I don't know. It was, the boy, I should say, was between 2 to 3 years old. Evidently could not relate or didn't know his exact age or name. So they were looking for the parents there in Chicago. Texas is sending migrants by private plane to Chicago. Well, when you're getting about 10 to 12,000 illegals a day, you got to send them somewhere. There's been a lot of traffic with nuclear bombers flying around. There was even a presidential doomsday plane flying last night. Yeah, war could break out at any time, especially when we threaten to attack Yemen. Middle East ready to explode. Red Sea, Suez Canal. The Yemenis are threatened to make it a graveyard if we attack them. They also vowed to destroy the oil facilities there in the Middle East. Yep, you think prices are high now. Just wait until the war breaks out there between the United States and Yemen. You know, of course you know, whenever the economy goes belly up, that the United States always starts a war. And with Biden's popularity being so low, yeah, he's gonna start a war. Yeah, that will probably be the straw that breaks the camel's back and sets us into an explosive depression. The Houthis that took over Yemen, there was an article about the attacks on the shipping industry there in the Red Sea. Are the attacks hurting Israel and disrupting global trade? I don't know. What do you think? The U.S. announced a 10-nation force to counter Houthi attacks in the Red Sea. I think we only got maybe 2 people that are backing us. Congressman Wesley Hunt, if Donald Trump is so unpopular with the American people, then why are we witnessing an unprecedented election interference to stop him from winning next year? He made that comment when Colorado decided to take him off the ballot. They're claiming that he tried to overthrow the country with the Capitol takeover, or whatever you want to call it. The problem is Trump has not been found guilty of insurrection. There is videos out there of him asking the people not to participate in the Capitol takeover. And he did, in fact, ask the National Guard to be deployed, but they didn't do that. So you want all these illegals, you feel sorry for the illegals coming into our country. Look at all the trash that they left on the U.S. side of the Rio Grande and Eagle Pass, Texas. Look at the mess. Yeah, they don't give a damn about the environment. There in South America, in Peru, they had a magnitude 6.2 earthquake. The LA Times had an article about cocaine that was hidden in jalapeno paste that they were trying to sneak into the United States. Yep, war is coming. You just don't know when they're going to start their offensive there with Yemen. The U.S. Defense Secretary made an unannounced visit to the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier defending Israel. The U.S. has released an ally, a Venezuelan president, in a swap for jailed Americans, the AP reported. We made an agreement with Venezuela. We released him, and they would release 10 Americans. I haven't heard, actually I haven't really looked up about the conflict that's going on there in Guyana with that border dispute between Venezuela. So maybe we're getting our Americans out before war breaks out there also. Wars and rumors of war around the world. I did not know that Joe Biden, amongst his decorations that he did there at the Oval Office at the White House, he actually has a moon rock on display in his office. Makes you wonder why. Supposedly we have cracked the code for anti-gravity interplanetary travel. This is an article about the M drive that could reach Pluto in 18 months. They're doing experiments with this anti-gravity and traveling through wormhole. and some more links to different articles about this technology. Ion-powered drone could be the future of anti-gravity. Forbes magazine also had an article about this new anti-gravity technology. So we sent a probe to this asteroid, which there was a lot of talk it was actually an ancient alien spaceship, and grabbed some asteroid samples from there. And supposedly we can't get it open now. Now that it was returned to the Earth, grabbed the samples, put it in a container, landed in the desert of Utah, and supposedly we can't get it open. I think that's really odd. A potentially dangerous device using radiation is missing as LA County Public Works offers a reward. Supposedly someone found it, probably collected the reward. USS Carney takes out drone swarm in the Red Sea. A food bank there in Billings, Montana, evidently is having some major problems. They're not handing out the food, and a lot of it's past date and rotting, and so they're ending up spending like $20,000 to haul it off to the dump when they're telling people they don't have any food, but they do, and it ends up being expired. So yeah, their leadership problem persists, it says here. The woman that's running the food bank, they need to kick her out of office or fire her or whatever. That earthquake I reported on in China killed at least 127 people. They're saying it was the deadliest earthquake they had there in China in 9 years. China sent up a rocket that evidently deployed 6 mysterious wingmen type of objects. They don't know what they're used for, but they are transmitting some sort of signal. 6 of them. Google got in trouble again, evidently from a massive app store settlement. They were rigging the market just like the stock market's rigged, and they got caught and had to put out or pay out $700 million. 26,000 pounds of chicken, like little chicken pops, were being recalled. Fridays, I guess it was. Yeah. I don't buy any type of lettuce, romaine, spinach, anything like that in the bags, because once again, spinach was recalled in 7 states. And it turned out that those applesauce pouches was deliberately contaminated with lead. They don't know if it was contaminated because they wanted to add extra weight to the cinnamon, or if they knew it was going to be shipped to the United States. But that was evidently a deliberate act, and the pouches evidently come from the country of Brazil. Can you believe these recalled applesauce pouches are still on the shelves in stores, even though there's been a recall for it? 125 reports of suspected lead poisoning when I did this article. A General Motors factory there in Michigan had a fire. Makes you wonder how it started. Much of the factory is now run by robots. Yeah. It might have something to do with the e-batteries, I'm not sure. But here it said that bins were full of batteries that was on fire. Yeah, once those lithium batteries catch on fire, it's virtually impossible to put it out, even with foam. So this here is a list of all the things that you need a valid ID to do. Driving, getting on an airplane, purchasing a car, registering a car, renting a car, buying insurance, buying a train ticket, getting a passport, picking up mail from FedEx or UPS or the post office, renting tools, furniture, visiting the doctor, donating blood, getting prescriptions. You can see the list goes on and on. Yeah, applying to go to school, cashing a check, getting a credit card, opening up a bank account, buying a house, buying cigarettes, buying liquor, visiting a casino, using a pawn shop, getting a fishing license or hunting license or buying a weapon. But did you know that to vote, you don't need a valid ID, but you need it for so much other things? Yeah, I can't wait until Monday. Federal District Judge Loretta Preska is a hero. Preska made a ruling that will unseal secret court documents that name over 170 people that were involved with Jeffrey Epstein's. Yeah, she should get extra security clearance immediately. Yep, she's got a backbone. Yep, I pray for her safety. God bless that woman. John Kirby there at the White House talking to the press, saying that we didn't leave a bunch of weapons in Afghanistan. He must think people live under a rock. Proud American brat said, "Yes, you did. My brother was Brigham Air Base commander where the arsenal was stored." Yeah, I mean, they showed off all the weapons, the military equipment, the tanks, the helicopters that we left behind. Do they actually believe their own lies? What do you think? Power restoration in Massachusetts could take multiple days after storm, almost a week. Made me go and check my Blue Yeti power bank. It's been in storage, charged for about a year, and I pulled it out. Got my son to pull it out. Yeah, it's not light. Weighs about 60 pounds. But it's over 2,000 watts. I want to say 2,500 watts that I have. And it was still fully charged. So even if it's just a short-term power outage, you don't want to lose all your food or have a way to heat your home, whatever. And I have that all covered, and other people should too. Several New England ski resorts had to close last Tuesday as flash floods caused damage. Yeah, took out the roads and everything. Yeah, this is an image of the once calm river coming down through the canyon. This is why the Amazon driver had to get a boat once the flooding was gone and done and over with, and the roads were all washed out. And yeah, this is why you should be prepared for a disaster. Food, water, heating, some kind of electrical backup. Can you believe they were out almost a week without power? Yeah. I haven't checked today, but yesterday they're saying that the eruption there in Iceland had stopped. But they weren't quite sure because there could have been flows of lava underneath the lava that had already come out. NASCAR driver Chase Briscoe gives new bicycles to over 700 kids there in his hometown. He wasn't helping family members. He was helping a community. I don't know what small town this was at, but this is where he grew up. Over 700 bicycles. That's amazing. Brothers in Indiana agreed to make over 50 automatic ghost guns for ISIS. They evidently took an undercover agent to the border, southwest border, yeah, so he could show the guns to a potential buyer. U.S. military, 41,000 troops short of recruitment goal, according to the 2024 National Defense Authorization Bill. That authorization bill had actually reduced our enrollment by 1,284,500 personnel. It's the lowest number they've ever had since World War II. Yeah, and we're going to help all these other countries send troops around the world. Yeah, sacrifice our husbands and uncles and brothers and leave our back door open. And of course Trump's dirty, right? Of course we got to believe everything that the FBI says about Trump. top FBI agent who colluded with Russian oligarchs sentenced to over 4 years in prison. Yeah, the same crooked people who were saying that Trump was colluding with the Russians, right? Tim Burchett was saying that Epstein's flight log at that time, still hasn't been released, remains undisclosed because too many of my colleagues are compromised. Yep, I wonder how. We'll find out. God, I hope we find out. Senator Mayorkas said, I want to be very clear, our borders are not open. The president has done more to secure our borders and to deal with this issue of immigration than anyone else. Yep, 10 to 12,000 coming across every day. Yep, how many of them are sleeper cells, right? Yeah, it's a scary thought. Yep. And this is about the war in Israel. Gaza hospital chief admits to being a Hamas commander, using clinics as military bases. Well, it wasn't just clinics, it was also hospitals and schools and places for the public, even mosques. This here is a pro-Hamas takeover at the Capitol building. I wonder how many of them were arrested. Yeah, but they went after all the Trump supporters. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, and this was posted when, let's see. It says, insurrection happening now at the Capitol. Is that Linda Sarrar leading the pro-Hamas anti-Israel insurrection? Yeah, and there they are in the Capitol. Yep. Did they get a permit to go in? You need to be prepared for the coming depression. We're already in the beginning of it. New York Post had an article, 2024 will be the biggest single crash year in our lifetime, economic warns. This is going to hurt more of the rich than the average person. Well, if you're already poor, how much poorer can you get? The average person is going to lose their job for 6 months to 2 years. The average rich person is going to lose 50 to 80% of their lifetime accumulated wealth. Well, you can't take it with you to heaven, right? And most of these people don't believe in an afterlife. They believe like their brain is like a computer, and once you're dead, it just turns off and you don't remember anything. I asked them, well, what do you think a ghost is? So, yeah, you might have a rude awakening when you do pass away. But I suppose not believing in God and the afterlife helps them sleep at night, right? Giant Super Bowl champ Derek Ward arrested after a string of alleged robberies. He played for the Giants, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Houston Texans. And he's going around robbing stores. Ex-Google programmer, those that censor all of us, admits to threatening to kill Chief Justice John Roberts. So let's end this with some good stuff. It says, if you need a smile. Little dog walking up to the camera, and there's his smile. This is a cute video you need to watch. Woman uses mom voice to scare away moose that was chasing her dog. Yeah, she yells and points at him. You stop that right now. Some snowman humor. Sorry, I should have mentioned the scarf came right out of the dryer. And 3 monkeys that were soothing themselves. Well, there's 2 more in the background in a hot spring, a spa. Yeah, that one looks like he's asleep. Yeah, I wish I was there. Here we have another cute video. The dog's all dressed up to have either a video or their picture taken. And the one dog, I guess he's friends with the cat, wanted the cat in the picture. So he drags the cat over. You'll see it here in a minute. Sets the cat down in front. Cats must be used to being dragged around. Dog goes back up into place to have the picture taken. And Yeah, you stay right there. Hold still. Say cheese. Those of us that do have pets and love our pets do realize that cats do have different types of expressions. And this article talks about how to read their expressions. One of them is when they're happy. The whiskers around their mouth will be facing forward and their ears will be forward. I have noticed my cats eavesdropping to conversations. They'll be like pretending to be looking out the window, but yet their ears are turned towards where I am sitting and talking with someone. A cosmic constellation that supposedly is supposed to look like a Christmas tree that they recently revealed to the public. So if you walked out your front door and seen this on your porch, what would you think? I would think it's a sign of something. Yeah, the American Great Eagle. Yeah, what are they telling the homeowner here? So what to do with that fruitcake? Well, here we got a fruitcake deposit box outside of a business that says Bulletproof Vest Company. And the woman is saying, you know, I always wondered what they were made out of. Fruitcake. And this will be the last one. A woman, I don't know if it's in Germany or what. She comes home. She's going for a walk. Her goose comes running up to her. Gives the pet a loving pet. And then she walks down the sidewalk and the goose walks right beside her. Reminds me, I had a duck one time. His name was Garfield. And reminds me of that. Look how they just walk together. Yep. So that's all we have. That's how I'll end it today. Some happy stuff. Yep. Yep. Yeah, animals are smart. Yep. They do have feelings. They do know how to love. More than a lot of people in the world nowadays, right? Yeah, I hope he doesn't end up on someone's Christmas dinner. I don't think so. Hope not. Unless they get desperate with the depression coming. You never know. Anyways, that's all I have for you now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye. Meow, 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 meow.